So yeah, I use all my props. I do a series with the strap over the foot, which is going to be so good for everything in the sciatic, that low back. Just really listen anytime we're completely flat to like bend your knees and make sure you're taking the pressure off that low spine, especially if it's bucking you, right? So we just want to be super careful there. But other than that, yeah, I think this will be a good fit.
So I got over sciatica, went to Scotland, came back with COVID.
No!
And I've been really dragging,
Yeah.
you know, so
Yeah.
that was the first day of like getting my old energy.
Good. It'll knock you down. It really will.
It wasn't so horrible while I had it. It was like a really bad sore throat and just feeling tired. That was like almost 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was still dragging.
It holds on.
Yeah.
It really does. Yeah.
But being outside yesterday.
It does. That helps so much. So much. That little bit of fresh
Yeah,
air.
even while I had COVID, I was going for walks.
Good. Good. Yeah. Flush it out of your
needed
system.
the sun.
Yeah, for sure. 1000%.
Is there a bee on my back?
No. There's nothing on your.
Thank God.
No, you're good.
I'm allergic.
No, you're good.
It
You're
like buzzed in my
totally
hair,
good.
and I was like,
No, you don't have anything on you.
thank you.
Absolutely. So we may or may not have a straggler or two that come in after 10 as it happens, you know. It's all good. This is all for the community. So we try to take it nice and gentle always in our approach for everything. Fantastic. Well, we'll get started here, and if we do have anybody pop in that have their mat set up, then they can just get what they need, and of course I'll help them get situated. So with sitting, you have a couple options. One option that I think would be really nice is either a bolster or a blanket underneath the tail. Yeah. And sometimes that's enough. Good. And then what we can do is you can take the blocks and just put them underneath the knees, and that's just going to release through that pelvis, allowing us to get nice and comfy. Sometimes I like to angle. You could do that. Yep, that works beautifully. Yep. Absolutely. I'll prop myself up too. And it's kind of like this big relief, right, in the pelvis. So we're just going to focus on finding that gentle release. And just, if it feels right, you could close your eyes, or you could leave them soft, gazing out at the tip of the nose. And we'll sit up nice and tall, so vertebrae stacking on top of vertebrae. Just in alignment, like a giant column through the spine. Let's roll the shoulders up to the ears and then gently set them down the back body, just to find a little bit more space, get a little taller through the spine. Start to allow the chin to come parallel to the floor. And then find where you can soften here. Sometimes that can feel like just a gentle release through the legs. Maybe it's letting the shoulders melt and relax a bit more. We're still keeping the integrity of our tall spine.
Yep. He said that he put it in
And then
the cabinet.
starting to become aware of the body.
Like that.
Noticing from the tips of the toes all the way through the legs. Noticing any sensations arising, a vibration, tightness, openness.
Oh. What are you doing over there? Like a trunk or treat thing?
Starting to become aware of the pelvis.
Oh, I got it.
Noticing any sensations that arise in the hips. Just becoming aware of these sensations, not creating stories or holding on to anything. Just starting to notice the body as it is in this moment. Beginning to bring awareness up into the torso. Noticing the belly and the chest. Maybe you're becoming aware of the breath in the belly, the expanse, the diaphragm as you inhale. And then the gentle release as you exhale. Maybe you start to notice sensations of the heart beating. Starting to become aware of the back body, the entire length of the spine, the ribs rising and falling with the breath. Noticing the kidney space as it softens and expands with each inhalation and exhalation. Starting to become aware of the shoulders all the way down through the arms into the wrists. Notice any sensation there, any lightness, any tightness, any gripping, any release. Moving into the hands, noticing the tops and the palms of the hands, each and every finger and the thumb. Just becoming very aware that the hands are maybe resting on the lap, on the knees. Starting to bring this awareness into the throat, the front of the throat, the neck, the cervical spine. Maybe you're noticing the temperature of the room, sensations as they arise, just notice. Bringing awareness up into the cranium, noticing the scalp, any sensations that may arise in the scalp, and then becoming aware of each and every facial feature. Beginning to soften through the forehead, releasing the temples. Imagine your eyes are pools of glimmering light, warm and fluid. Softening through the jaw. Maybe you allow the tongue to fall from the roof of the mouth and widen in the lower palate. Maybe you visualize each and every tooth softening. Move from this space of deep awareness into our pranayama, our breath work. This next breath work helps us to just become extremely present and notice the breath more fully. It gives our mind something to focus on as we're breathing in this state of relaxation, acceptance, and awareness. So this is a 3-part breath, and if it's in your practice, you can take it however you like. to start with placing one hand on my belly and one hand over my heart or my heart space, whatever feels right for you. Letting the shoulders be soft and relaxed. And we're going to take a nice big inhale to exhale to begin. Just a normal, gentle inhale and exhale. And then for this breath, we're going to inhale 1/3 of our breath into our belly. Pause, and then 1/3 into the rib space. Pause, and then 1/3 into the chest. And we pause at the height. Then we're going to exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Good. I'll keep guiding through so we're ready. Inhaling deeply into the belly, 1/3, 1/3 into the ribs, 1/3 into the chest. Pausing, and then exhaling, chest, ribs, and belly. Good. Big breath into the belly, ribs, chest. Exhaling, chest, ribs, belly. Good. Continuing on just like this with your 3-part breath. Noticing each part of the breath as you continue on. This can be as fast or as slow as you need it to be. Tap into the sensation of each part of this breath. Allowing the thoughts to only focus on the sensation of your breathing. Wherever you are, let's do 2 more rounds just like this. And on your last and final round, return to gentle breath. Anytime you need it, 3-part breath is available to you to help slow the thoughts and become present in the moment. This can help with anxiety, feelings of stress or nervousness. Just allowing the body to be yoked with the mind. Present moment, and gentle relaxation. When you're ready, we can bring the hands to Anjali Mudra, or you can just stack them on top of the heart center, whichever feels best for you. And here we will set the intention for our practice today. Maybe it's just to move slowly and be present, or maybe it's something more personal you're working on. I invite you to set whatever intention feels right for you. Once you feel you have that intention set deep into the heart space, we're going to take a nice big inhale, exhale, H-A-Ha. One more time, just like that. Good. Let's bring the palms of the hands together and go ahead and move them just like this, heating up the palms until they're nice and toasty warm, creating our own heat, our own energy, our own power. It's also dissipating any residual energy that might be stuck. And once they're nice and toasty, go ahead and cup them over the eyes. Bathing the eyes in warmth here. And start to blink the eyes open underneath the palms. Allow light to spill in between the fingers. And then when you're you're ready, just releasing the hands down to the lap. Just notice the shift in energy from when we began to now. Very nice. So we're going to come off of our props. We're going to start to make our way up into tabletop. Now this floor can be a little bit hard on the knees. So if it would feel better to place a blanket underneath the knees, I invite you to do so. Very nice. So we'll start by taking our two fists together and place them between the knees. And that's going to be hips width apart. Back to our tabletop. And from here, we're going to press the floor away, and there's going to be a very gentle, it's not like a tight grip in the stomach. And what that's going to do is it's going to help us protect that low spine. From here, we're going to start with gentle C shapes. So we're going to take a nice inhale at neutral, and then exhale, go ahead and look over that left shoulder, maybe back at that left heel. Coming all the way back with our inhale, and then exhale, taking it over to the right. This can be as wide or as shallow a movement as it needs to be. Feeling free to get right into that spine, just very gentle, maybe move the hips over, kind of articulating through each vertebrae as you move into these C shapes, just warming the spine. And we'll start to come back into neutral. And from here, we're going to take our gentle cat-cow. So we'll inhale, belly comes down, hips lift, and then we look up. Exhale, round through the spine, like we're pushing a ball up into the ceiling. Tuck the tail and then bring the chin to the chest. Good, keep it going just like this. Big breath in. And exhale, good. Beautiful. And keep coming here for just a couple more breaths, warming up gently through the spine. Top running out of energy, keeping everything nice and relaxed, lying in the body. Beautiful. From here, I invite you to take a wide-legged child's pose, moving the knees out and away to the edge of the mat. Toes maybe touch and send the hips back. Now from here, we can make this more energetic by pressing the palms into the earth and sending those hips back as our forehead comes down to the mat. Or if you want something more restorative, you can always stack the palms on top of each other and place the forehead down on the palms. And from here, we're just breathing into our low back. Maybe you visualize there's a palm sitting right at your kidney space. And you're trying to press that into that palm with your breath. Big breath here. Beautiful. Let's come all the way back up into our tabletop. From here, we're going to take our blocks. And we're going to place the blocks about shoulder width on their lowest level in front of us. Spreading the fingers nice and wide. We're going to take the edge of this block, this small edge, and place our wrist right at that edge. Yeah, there we go. And then spread those fingers nice and wide. Good. From here, we're going to curl the toes. And we're going to press our way into the blocks and start to lift our hips up. It's a little bit of a different downward facing dog. Yeah, so start to pedal out the feet, shake out the head. Yeah, and focus mostly on that spine, right? So we're pressing the blocks away and we're lifting up those hips, but we're not worried about the hamstrings so much here. We're just finding that gentle release through the back body. This is a really nice recovery way to do our downward facing dog. Beautiful. Good. And if you want to come into stillness, you can. We're going to lift up through the balls of the feet so that we're up on our tiptoes. Good. And then we're going to press as we come down, bring the heels down through the outer edge of our foot. So inhaling up on the tippy toes, and then exhale, start to round through the outer edge of that foot, bringing the heels down. And just keep going just like this, nice and dynamic. Big breath in as you come up, and exhaling as you come down. Beautiful. Good. Very nice. And with your next movement, come on into stillness. Let's bring the knees back down to the mat. Fantastic, yep. This can be a lot on the wrists.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll bring the wrists together and we'll just start to do this when you're ready. And the opposite direction. Very good. Let's take a moment, place the hands on the hips. We're just going to roll the toes under. Now from here, if this feels good, stay there. If you want to go a bit further, you can sit back, and that's okay. That's fine. We're focusing mostly on stretching through the toes. Good. So we'll lift out the hands all the way, and then we're going to bring them together, and then press, 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 press. Beautiful, gentle release. Bring the hands out, and then we're going to flip that so our fingers are going to face down, and then we're going to start to press as we bring the palms up to the chest, relaxing through the shoulders. Good, big breath in. Beautiful, and release it all down. Good, fantastic. From here, go ahead and find your tabletop. Okay, we're going to go ahead and remove that blanket. Good, and then we're going to come all the way down to our belly. Now this is another nice one for the hips. If we stack the hands underneath the chin, and then we rock through our hips. It should feel really good.
It does.
Yeah. It's nice after that downward facing dog because we're just gonna release and relax. All right, from here, we're going to bring the left knee so that it's in alignment with the hip flexor right here. Good, and then you can take the side, the right temple to the palms. That feels good. Just breathe here. Let gravity do some work. It's going to just press that hip into the earth. It's funny because a lot of people will tell me that this is how they sleep and that they want to stay here. They're like, could you just leave me here? Good. Couple deep breaths here as the hip starts to melt into the earth. Beautiful. Let's slowly find our way back to neutral with both legs extended on the mat. Good, and we'll take it to the other side. Take that right leg up. And then maybe the left temple to the hands and just let that hip get nice and heavy. Other direction. Ooh, good. Let that hip get nice and heavy. Let's slowly start to make our way back to neutral, both legs extended. Good, and from here we're going to take the arms out, nice and long. And keep the chin on your mat, just to relax through the cervical spine. And from here we're going to lift up. You might find that you lift your head at the same time through that right arm and the left leg. Yeah, and then we're going to feel almost like we're getting pulled in opposite directions. Maybe the eyes are at the imaginary horizon line. If that's too much for the cervical spine, the nose can also face down to the floor. Good, big breath in, get a little higher. And exhale, let's melt back down. Good, let's do the same thing but opposite sides. So we're gonna inhale, lift up through the left arm, right leg. Couple big breaths here. Really feel energetically like you're getting pulled in opposite directions. Good, last big breath in. And exhale, melt all the way down. Good, let's take it to the right side once again. Right arm, left leg. Feeling it pull, pull, pull. Good, big breath in. And exhale, melt. Good, last one, coming over to the left arm, right leg. Exhale, melting all the way down. Go ahead and stack the hands underneath the chin and just rock out those hips. We know how awesome that feels. It's always nice to revisit it. Fantastic. Beautiful. Good. Let's find stillness. Let's come into our little baby cobra. This is our only micro back bend. So we're going to bring the hands right underneath the shoulders. Toes are going to press into the earth. So you'll feel when you press the tops of the feet in that your entire leg starts to engage and that the knees actually lift. And then we'll just inhale up just a little bit. And here, notice the breath into the floor. Right? It's starting to engage through the digestive tract. Let the shoulders melt down the back body. Good, big breath in. And exhale, melt all the way back down to the floor, rock it out, let those hips release, let the jaw release. Fantastic. Beautiful. And from here, we're going to find our tabletop. Beautiful. Good. Let's find a gentle seat. Come into staff bent knee. And then we'll find our strap. Just make sure that's handy. And from here, we're going to come all the way down to our backs. Now just check that this feels okay, first of all. We'll keep the knees bent to protect that low spine. How does that feel? Do you need knee support underneath the head? Okay, you feel good there? Beautiful. Fantastic. Okay, so this is some of my favorite work here. We're going to use our strap, and we're really going to stretch out the leg. So find your strap, unravel it, and then we're going to start on the right side. So you're going to bring the right foot up, and the strap is going to go over the ball of the foot. So we don't want to strangle the pinky. Good. So we're going to keep everything nice and relaxed. Relaxed jaw, relaxed wrists. We did a lot of work in the face. We did a lot of work to relax, so we're going to try to stay there. We're going to bring the hands one to each side of the strap. And then from here, just gently allow for the elbows to come down to the earth. Yeah, so it's just a little support. We're going to inhale, kick maybe that heel up and away from you, and as you exhale, maybe the toes grow just a bit closer to the nose. And then from here, we're just going to rock from left to right. So priming deep into that hip. Good, you look great.
How far do you want to?
However it feels right. So if it's, you want a tiny little rock, go for it. I have some people that will sit there and just rock teeny tiny, and that's fine. And then others really want to get into it and saturate through that hips, and that's also fine. Whatever your body feels like it needs today, you can go as slow as you need, as quickly as you need. Good. Now, something that can feel really good, right, especially if there's any kind of sciatic or back pain, is to take the strap, and when you come through the midline, you're just going to pull just a little bit on that left hand, that left strap, and you'll start to notice the foot starts to turn away from you, so that that outer ankle gets a little stretched. Do you feel that there? Yeah. And then maybe when you rock out away from the midline, you give that right hand a little bit of a tug, and then the internal side of the ankle gets a little stretched. Do you feel that there? Good. So maybe you do that while you rock back and forth. And maybe it's a juicy stretch. It also kind of slows everything down, doesn't it? Yeah. All right, let's start to slow this all down and come back into neutral. Good, we're gonna bring the straps together so they make a little V in front of you now. With your left index finger, go ahead and put that between the little V, like right in that little triangle you created. Yeah, beautiful. Then you're gonna take that right hand and place it right on that right hip flexor. So like, yeah, in where the shirt and the pant would meet. So from here, we're gonna inhale, lengthen through the back of that leg. And then as we exhale, we're just going to, it's a very micro movement. Allow for this right leg to cut through the midline. You'll feel it. It's gonna fire up on the outside of that leg. Yeah, and then start to really drive that right hip down into the earth. Good.
Not sure if I'm
Yep,
doing.
that's okay. Do you mind if I touch?
No,
Is that
not
okay?
at all.
Good. One more breath, release the jaw. Good, and when you're ready, we're just gonna slowly allow that to come back to neutral. We'll take the strap, one in each hand, and just rock it out gently from left to right. Yeah, good. Beautiful. Yeah, that's it. And if you want to add that little flexion of the ankle in, just to do that little stretch here, you can. If it feels better just to completely release through, I understand that too, absolutely. I've been there. Good, fantastic. Beautiful. Bring her all the way back up to neutral. And this time we're going to take that strap together so it makes our little V. And this time our right index finger is going to come through. Yeah. And our left hand is going to come to our left hip flexor. Yeah, so right here, right, you know, like the crest of the pelvis? Yeah, right in there. And we're going to press down there. And we're going to we're going to attempt to let this hip really get heavy.
Okay.
All right, so from here, I'm going to just adjust you here because I
Yes.
see it coming, and that's
Yeah.
okay. We're just going to take a nice big inhale and find the length, right? And then you can flex those toes for more sensation, or let them be nice and loose for less. And we're going to inhale, lengthen, and then as we exhale, we're going to come out away from the midline. This toe is going to start to shine down towards the floor, so there's this external rotation happening through the hip. Yep, you're good. Yeah. I like it. That looks great. Just a little bit more. Yeah, so this is one you can come back to at any time. So breathing here, we're going to send that hip down into the earth. Yeah. It's a big one, intense.
Yeah.
Yep. Release through the shoulders, release the jaw. Just 2 more big breaths here. Let's focus on the breath. Inhaling deeply and then good. It's that exhalation, I know. Big breath in. Last exhale. And then on your inhale, we'll bring her all the way back up. Good. Good. We'll take the strap in either hand and then just rock her out.
This is just what I need.
Yeah. You tell me low back and sciatic, and I got you.
Right.
This is it. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I know. If only I'd skipped that darn down dog. I know. Good. Beautiful. Now, from here, do as you need. You need a couple more rotations. That's fine. Take it, right? What we're going to do from here, you can go ahead and keep this other leg bent because of the back stuff, okay? We're gonna release the strap. Keep the foot elevated. So from here, we're gonna point the toe, all right? That's a sensation all itself. And then we're gonna slowly, like we're almost trying to pull it through molasses, let it come down until it hovers about 1 inch above the mat, okay? Then take a nice big inhale, flex the foot, and bring it all the way back up. Good, 2 more times just like that. Point that toe, let it come almost all the way down, hover, all the way back up. Good, this is our last one, so make this as slow as you can. Slow, 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 slow. And then when you're hovering, hover there. Hover, 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 hover. You can go down just a bit more. You can go down just a bit more. There it is. And then completely release down into a Shavasana. Letting both legs extend. If that feels right for your low back, you can let both legs extend long. Feel the difference?
Oh,
Yeah. That right.
right leg feels longer.
Yeah, it's about 2 inches longer than the left. Yeah, absolutely. Just bask in this sensation. Know that this sensation is available to you at any time. You can always take that strap and do a little bit of rotations on your own. Beautiful. Now I can't let you out into the world walking around in circles because one leg's longer, so I better move you back onto the other side. So we'll bend both knees to protect the low spine. And then we'll find our strap around the ball of the foot. Good. Yeah, real good. Beautiful. Let's take both, one in each hand to start, right? Let's prime through that hip, give it the same love we did the other side. Good. And then we'll start our rock. Now this side might feel totally different, right? And that's to be expected, because when we drive a lot, when we play sports, maybe we're running around after kids or grandkids or pets or friends or whomever, we're gonna maybe have that more extension and flexion on that right side, especially if that's where we're walking from, right? If that's more dominant. So this side's gonna feel just a bit different, and that's okay.
It does feel tighter.
Yeah. And totally normal, typical, that we feel a bit of sensation differently from one side of the body to the next. Good. And if you want to start to bring in those ankle rotations here, you can. Go nice and gentle. And just start to notice any sensations. There you go. I always find the one that goes into the midline, I definitely feel more.
Yeah.
And we are getting into boot season, right? So
Yes.
this is a good one to do in boot season, for sure. Good. Beautiful. Yeah, now that alone is juicy enough for us to stay there, right? And just enjoy that sensation. But when you're ready, we'll bring it back to neutral. Fantastic, yeah, and then just take that. So for this, for our hand posture, we'll take that right hand, sorry. Right hand's gonna go through the triangle, yeah, and that just helps our wrist be gentle. And then, yeah, pressing down that opposite, good. And then from here, let's set ourselves up for success. So nice and long, yeah. Yep, and that knee doesn't have to be totally straight either. More sensation, go ahead and peel those toes back. Less sensation, you can let them be softer. We'll inhale, find our length here. Good, and then exhale just through the midline.
That's such a little movement.
Yeah.
It feels so intense.
Okay. Do you want to take a couple breaths there for the static? For the hold, so find it. Yeah, let's find it. Let's send this hip down, right? Yeah, there she goes. See how that fired up everything?
Yeah.
Boom. Good, just take a couple breaths here in static. Relax the jaw. Relax the shoulders. Good. Beautiful. When you're ready, bring it back to neutral. Yeah, and then take one strap in each hand and go ahead and rock her out from left to right. So let's talk about static posture for a second, because this is really important. And we see this, so I also have my yin certification as well. So when we add tension, right? So when that foot is across and we're adding stress, right? And you can feel it. You're like, oh my goodness, there's a lot of stress here. You can keep rocking back and forth, just let it prime out. We are creating tension. So if you think about a hose, right? And you kink the hose, you create this pressure behind it, right? So all these little capillaries and little connective tissues, they're all getting kind of kinked or stopped with tension. That's great, because we're priming, we're holding back tension, we're creating stress in a positive way. Then when you release, right, and you start to move again gently and mindfully, that's when everything gets flushed with that new energy, that new blood, that new prana, that new circulation starts to happen. So that's where we see the healing actually happen, in the creating of tension and stress for a purpose, right, in a safe way. Then to release and flush out all of the stuff that needs to get flushed out. We also know that like cartilage and different tendons within the body, they can't flex as much as our muscles can. So it's all the connective tissue, right? Because you can feel it definitely here, right, on that outer IT as it connects, maybe on the inner as it connects, you can feel that. So that is why we hold, and then we come back to this gentle release. Oh, good, beautiful. Alrighty, yeah.
So now we're doing.
So now this side might feel different too when we come to the outside, right? So come all the way to neutral first. Yeah. And then what we'll do is we'll inhale, we'll lengthen here first. Yeah, so the toes don't have to be so close to your nose. Even if you come back just a bit and then find your length here, yeah, that might be a better alignment there. If you want more sensation, you're gonna flex those toes. If not, that's okay. We're gonna inhale, lengthen through the back of the leg. Good, and then you're gonna find the rotation. So it's an external rotation. It goes all the way down to the hip. And then it's gonna start to come out.
This right hip is
That's
lifting up.
So keep finding that rotation. Yeah, and the best way is like you're trying to press that, yeah, away, and then you're finding that rotation. That's it. Some shaking's okay. That's okay. That's trauma releasing. So here we're in our static, right? So you can picture that king toes. You're sending all this tension, all this stress in such a positive way. You're in total control of it. And there's a lot of sensation going on. Beautiful. Yeah, there you go. Nice deep breath, and when you're ready, on your next deep inhale, you're gonna send that leg back up. Good, and then just rock it out, taking the strap in, one in each hand. Yeah. Fantastic. See how open you are now?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you started, it was kind of like, oh, and now it's like,
Yeah.
ooh, I
Yeah.
can move. And that's beautiful. Good. When you're ready, we'll bring it all the way back up to neutral. Get 2 feet in there.
Yeah.
That's all right. You can always play, right? Absolutely, as long as it doesn't hurt anything in that low spine. So this is called waterfall pose. You can hang out in this all day if you want to. It's so healthy for the return of blood flow, right? And to take tension and stress off. How about we come back to this in just a second. Go ahead and let that right foot come down to the earth. We're gonna point through the left, and then we'll let it come down in time and space here. Hover. Good. Flex, and then bring it all the way back up. Good. Point. And then lower. Good. Flex. Bring it all the way back up. Last one. Go ahead and point. And then go ahead and let it hover. Hover, 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 hover. And then just release both legs long. And notice that they're both the same length now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Fantastic. Yeah, no, please. Move however you need to move. It's a big dose of medicine, that one. So, however you need to move. All right, so let's go ahead and find our feet to the floor, knees bent. And we're going to find a block to come into our supported bridge. This is also a really nice one for sciatic and the psoas. So we're going to take our block on level 1, and we're going to make sure that our heels start to creep up towards our sit bones. Maybe we brush the back of them with our index or middle finger. Maybe. All right, keeping the head in alignment. So we have a nice long cervical spine. We're going to inhale and lift the hips up and then slide the block under on its lowest level closest to the tail. So it's a lot closer to the tail than the lumbar. This should feel immediately good. Yeah, creep it down. I think you're probably good there. How's that feel?
Right.
Feels good, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Whew. Now this is one I highly suggest for any kind of, after activity, maybe in the evening when you're just relaxing. Just take a couple of books, maybe if you have a block at home, maybe you have a pillow, and just let your hips take in this juicy stretch. So here we have the psoas, right, that connects the top body to the lower body, and we can actually feel it finally getting that release. That's that nice sensation, right, that you're feeling right now deep in that hip. And sometimes the psoas doesn't really get a break, because when we're sitting, or we're walking, or we're doing a whole bunch of different stuff. This is a really nice one to come back to. Now you can stay here, or if it feels right, you can bring the palms of the feet together and let the knees fall out